All right, I'm going to begin. Let me say that in April, National Action Network had its national convention in New York, and part of the workshop on corporate accountability was that we were going to deal with the diversity at a board and senior staff level of major corporations, particularly those that either market or enjoy a large consumer base in minority communities. And our Washington Bureau, headed by Ebony Riley, has began today writing those companies that have projected diversity, but that have not in any way conformed to that in their own practices. Intuit is the first company that they will be dealing with. I sent a letter to the chairman this morning. According to them, they target to help a lot of members of the minority community around tax fraud claims, but have no minorities on their board, none in their executive staff. And they will be the first of many companies that we will begin dealing with. One of the things as we go now into a new level of dealing with what this country will look like in a post-Obama presidency is the private sector must be challenged to reflect the American populace, particularly those that they do their business with. And it is our contention that as we start with those companies, that we want to see a diversification at top levels. One, it services their workers, it services their consumers, and it services the American public. And it is high time that people live up to what they proclaim, or that the communities be alerted that they're doing business with people that will not allow or somehow have managed to go forward without the full participation at their own ranks from a board level down on diversifying their ranks. So this letter has been widely distributed, and I wanted to make the official announcement here. Are there any questions? Yep, you are.
Nick Bowsey, PJ Media.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to ask you about a report you've probably seen in the New York Post about your consulting with corporations, your consulting services that.
What my consulting services?
Yes.
What about my consulting services?
For your consulting with corporations, that you're actually paid to consult them on race issues, but also to not charge them in the future. It's kind of like protection from ever.
Oh, that is erroneous. There's been, not only is that erroneous, that has never been supported with any facts. There's no corporation that has, in the instances that we have given some advice to corporations, they solicited me to come and be part of their advisory boards or external advisory boards to help them put into practice what they had decided they wanted to do. They have nothing to do with our targeting anybody. And I think that if I'm remembering the story you're referring to, it's almost laughable, because I think they said one had donated 10 years ago $5,000 to a dinner. I think that anyone knowing the multi-million-dollar budget of National Action Network and my own income from radio and TV, that $5,000 10 years ago is laughable. Or $5,000 this year would be laughable. Anything else?
I also wanted to ask you about the election as well. As you know, there are some people on the left who are saying,
which election?
The presidential.
I have to be careful with you conservative guys.
Me, I'm independent. I'm straight.
Sometimes that's a euphemism for being conservative, but that's all right.
No.
I like conservatives.
Well, that's good. That's good. But a lot of people on the left are saying that this election has a lot to do with race. saying the Trump campaign is running a racist campaign. But Larry King came out recently and said he's known Donald Trump for a long time. He's not racist. You've known him a long time. What do you think about Trump? Do you agree with King?
Well, first of all, I did not know Larry King was on the left, and I didn't know I was on the left, according to which side you stand on. But all jokes aside, I think the issue is not whether Mr. Trump is racist or not. I think the issue is whether he is playing to a racial climate, and in some cases exacerbating it. And I have said publicly, and I've said to him, that I think a lot of what he is saying and a lot of what he's doing is certainly playing to a race element. And I think that that is unhealthy, and I think that is something that is beneath what the American electorate needs to be facing in the 2016 election. Whether he's personally a racist or whether he's playing a role or to get votes, I have no idea. The effect is certainly that. Now, does he do other things? Yes. But I think that when I last met with him around the Bertha issue, he and I got into a long dialogue where I said I felt that it plays to racial elements of the president is other than us, and I felt that that was certainly race tinged. He says, "Well, you called me a racist." I said, "I never called you a racist. I said what you're doing is racial." This was our meeting on the Bertha situation. And right away he went out and said, "I apologize for calling him a racist." And I got on my television show that night. I kind of beat him to his Twitter and said, "And I know what he's going to do. This is what happened. I met with him. This is the dialogue." And I said it that night. And he has continued in that vein, unfortunately. Though he's now predicting he will win over African-American voters.
Yeah, he has predicted that. Are you going to try to meet with him about any of these issues?
I've met with him around the Bertha issue, and I've not sought a meeting with him, nor has he sought a meeting with me. I think it would be interesting, though, since the subject matter today is corporations, to see whether he has blacks or browns on the board or in senior management of any of his companies. I think one of the things that he should do is to say to the public, since he's predicted he'll win the black vote, these are the blacks in the Trump organization at this level. These are the blacks that we contract and do business with. So you can understand that I will give business opportunities because I've done it. He ought to come forward with all of that, his contractors, his subcontractors that are black, so that he would have the basis of saying he would win the black vote. I was reading a report that Mrs. Clinton, who is his assumed opponent, has a diversity officer in her campaign. I don't know if he has a diversity officer in his campaign. Maybe it's Omarosa, I don't know. You smiled, I didn't.
We'll see what happens. Maybe he'll appoint somebody.
Wonders never cease. Wonders never cease with Mr. Trump. Anyone else? All right, thank you.